the handsome, powerful, mighty Xorril takes his rest in the College of Winterhold, waiting for the time when he shall rise as a vampire lord of Skyrim. Another hero, another chapter appears. Sicarius, the khajiit assassin, makes his way to Skyrim. Hey everybody. So, I am starting a new Skyrim series. Xorril will be back, but there's still quite a few mods out there that have not been updated that kind of need to be updated for Chapter 3. It's pretty much crucial. And so, oh god, that is gonna kill me. Whew. So, this is Sicarius. Yeah. This is currently all he owns, although there's probably going to be stuff here. And I'm going to take this little first bit to tell you a little bit about Sicarius. See, he is an assassin. He has specifically said he is an assassin. He's been an assassin before. In fact, he was actually a high-ranking member of the Dark Brotherhood at one point, which explains how he got that little, that special suffix, because for khajiit that usually means someone of great status or importance. And so, Sicarius, his original name was Sicarius. He was born in Elsewhere, in the khajiit homeland. He was raised just as any other, but as it always happens, he was a bit different. See, where others, would do as they were told, would simply, do the normal khajiit things, he was always looking. He was always yearning for something more. He was always curious, and he always had a knack for archery. So it was really only natural that he would become an assassin. See, I mean, he was a noble guy. He was a good guy. There was nothing really that, stood him out as an evil person. And he wasn't an evil person. It's just, he was good at being an assassin. And if you're good at something and enjoy doing it, which he did, then do it. So he's essentially one of the very few noble assassins. He's a good person who kills people for a living. Yeah, I know, a bit crazy. A bit crazy. So, he at one point discovered the Dark Brotherhood. The Dark Brotherhood, they're the guys who, they're the biggest assassins. And, he found them, he joined their little group, and he had a pretty good run. Unfortunately, his run didn't exactly last forever. He, at one point, he came back, and his Dark Brotherhood, his family, they were all gone, dead, and the sanctuary was burnt to the ground. Unless able, they would go on a streak of vengeance, try and hunt down whoever did this, whoever ruined their home. But, I mean, this guy wasn't like that. He was, Sicarius, he was never really one to go on a vengeance spree. And so, he didn't. He was sad, sad about the loss, and was annoyed that why would someone do this? Although he didn't understand that, hey, they're a group of assassins. The world is not exactly going to miss them, and so he understood that, and so that's why he really didn't, take much vengeance for it. And he did, though, take some precautions. He changed his name to Sicarius, taking the re suffix, or oh, hello. Hello. Yeah, taking the re suffix just because, he can. And, deciding, well, I guess it's time to try and, find some new Dark Brotherhood to continue to explore this wonderful world I'm living in and see if I can, one day get back to the Dark Brotherhood, find a new family. And he heard a rumor that there was a Dark Brotherhood in Skyrim. He's not entirely sure if that rumor's true, but it's really his only bet, so here he is. Now his plan was to take a ship and, you know, go about it systematically with all his gear, his money, you know. He planned for a luxurious stretch of travel, maybe a few adventures before finally finding the Dark Brotherhood, and, you know, having a new family, doing the work that he loves. However, it would appear that he's picked the wrong ship. As you can see, he's shipwrecked and stranded, with absolutely no idea where he is. In fact, taking a look at this map that he has of Skyrim, appears the closest town is either Dawnstar or Winterhold. Not exactly the most, shall we say, accessible of places. They don't have any methods of travel, so that's going to be a bit annoying for him. Anyways, I suppose it's time to start the adventure. Yes, so Sicarius has big plans. He wants to join the Dark Brotherhood, he wants to return to his family, and he also has a new objective. See, he's lost pretty much everything, and in fact, I should probably equip him with whatever stuff he's found. So, he has an iron dagger, and he has a staff. He doesn't use staves, by the way. Would he wear this? He might actually wear that. He also, at the moment, probably can't have very many preferences for clothing, considering he has absolutely nothing. Yeah, he doesn't use magic. He's strictly, you know, an archer assassin. Actually, this kind of... Ooh, no. So yeah, we need to get to the mainland, and we need to eventually figure out where the Dark Brotherhood is. And he is vain, because all of my characters are, because I cannot have an ugly character in these kind of games. I just can't. It's a horrible issue, but it's something that's true. I can't. Nah. Probably gonna use light armor, I think. Yeah, probably light armor. Should I wear the coif? No, I don't think so. We are gonna wear the Thalmor cape for now, because whoa, hey, get back on that ice flow. There's really nothing better to wear, but eventually I'm gonna have, you know, some more Dark Brotherhood style clothing. Black is a prevalent theme in most of his armor. Also, I'm not gonna discuss the mod changes very much because they'll all be in the little list. And hey, say as a dead person. Another dead pass. Hello. Impressive. Boots, clothes, iron armor. Let's take the iron. We'll leave him with whatever dignity he may have left. I do like that. This is alternate start. I will discuss this because it's amazing. Seriously, this is the story that I felt fit the best, but there's tons of others. And pretty much every race also has this little special story of theirs. They, like, you know, everyone can choose from several different stories, like I'm a necromancer in a secluded lair, I'm a vampire, you know, I own property, all this cool stuff. And there's even, I could have actually started as a member of the Dark Brotherhood, but decided this is kind of a better story. You'll also notice that well, I am going to be using all this stuff that adds realism with food and drink and cold and wet. Not yet, because I'd be dead by now. That is, in fact, the only thing I don't like about the shipwrecked one is that you are going to suffer for a little bit. It's just a case of, if you're not careful, if you engage your mods too soon, you will die along the way, just because this one, there's so much ice and so much cold water that I definitely would have died 12 times over by now. I mean, that could be considered a good thing. Actually, no, it couldn't. So yeah, I mean, theoretically, this isn't possible. I mean, to be fair, I am jumping across ice floes a lot. I'm thinking he might have the mod author might have chosen this place specifically because of all the ice flows. So that's something. Anyways, so Sicarius here, he doesn't actually know where the Dark Brotherhood might be. All he knows is that, you know, there's been rumors of Dark Brotherhood activity, and, you know, if he wants to join them, Skyrim's the place to be. So that's where he's headed, but beyond that, he doesn't know. They could be in Dawnstar, they could be in Winterhold, they could even be in Solitude. He doesn't know. Now, his experience with the Dark Brotherhood was in Elsewhere, so it was mostly, it wasn't exactly the cities. It was, I'll be honest here, Elsewhere is not actually a zone that you're allowed to, that you can travel to in Morrowind or Oblivion. So I don't actually know anything about it, but let's just assume that it's one of those places that, you know, I'm not going to assume anything whatsoever. But yeah, so he doesn't have very much. He thinks that they might be in cities, because I mean, he doesn't actually know the extent of the chapter. His chapter was actually a kind of a well, very much a smaller chapter. So he's not entirely sure, you know, just where they're gonna be. Solitude will probably be one of his first stops, just because it's Solitude. Hello.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Who are you?
You have questions?
Oh, that's cool. This guy was added in by alternate start, because this is one of the few things that you get to ask for the reward on your Helgen. Might have some luck, and now we can steal him and take all of his stuff, because that is awesome. Okay. So I'm assuming we're allowed to kill him. I'm gonna see if I actually can kill him. Sneak.
Don't even think about it.
Hey! Hello. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey. Hey. Hey, buddy. Hey. Gotcha. So, perhaps he's actually a pretty good assassin, so this is not exactly his preferred method of taking someone down. Usually he prefers to snipe him with an arrow or two. Finish him off sometimes, but not often. Sea Dog. You may be wondering, what is this? This is not part of the base game. You're right, it's not. Immersive Armors is awesome. Oh, sorry, Deacus. Oh, poor thing. Oh, so much stuff to steal. Steal it all. Steal the stuffs. Bear trap. So after this, I think I'm going to take stock of just what I have, because I have very little of it. Hopefully it'll be enough to get a good start. Gold, potion, scroll. That statue worth anything? Not really. Okay, let's just soul gem. Now let's just see what we have. So, I got this Imperial Sword and this Iron Dagger, so there's something. I actually have quite a lot of armor now, so let's actually consider which is better. I mean, apparently this actually has better armor, but does this look more like something that Sicarius would wear? Actually, I kind of like that. Let us remove the cloak, Thalmor cloak. That doesn't actually work, but that, we'll go with it. I kind of like this. It works. But, and besides, I'll take care of pretty much all the clothing stuff once we actually get to a town. Oh, forgot to actually take a look at what else we have. So we got not really actually potions are something that's most important for any playthrough, and I have very little of that. I've got enough food to last me a little bit. Fala, amanita, agara, assault, and tundra kata. This is probably my most valuable item. Or this. Huh. Alright. So most stuff we're probably gonna need a fence for. Ugh. That's actually annoying, is that it's so hard to get a fence unless you join the Thieves Guild, and I'm actually not very much of a thief. It's just, you know, you kill someone, their possessions are still counted as stolen, so it's sometimes necessary to have a fence in this line of business. Anyways, how close am I to Dawnstar? Oh, still a little stretch of water to go across. I'm also... So 1 is dagger, 2 is sword, 3 is nothing. Alright. Probably go around with sword, actually. The dagger is really only useful once you get some of the sneak perks. So. Now let's see what we have here. Hello. Hello. No one home. Guess they're not home. Yeah, orcers, run away. Yeah, so let's get to Dawnstar and we'll figure out what we're gonna do. Hey, look, a little shrine thing. Hey, hey, hey! Dawnstar ahoy! And absolutely nothing else besides Dawnstar. Ah, beautiful. Alright. Yeah. Definitely want to find the Dark Brotherhood. That's something. Hello? 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 Hey, buddy.
You've come
What's
to
up?
Dawnstar at a strange time frame.
Yep. Alright, well, we're here in Dawnstar. That's probably good enough for a first episode. See you later, goodbye.